Look at Wanda, ready to rock her big presentation. But first, lunch. Sweet Pepper's Deli. Delicious, celebratory, but is it quick? The Cobb salad. Tender oven-roasted chicken, topped with cheese. Prepared, plated, and served? In 6 minutes? Is this for real? Well, of course. Well done, Wanda. Sweet Pepper's Deli. Yes, ma'am. Life is sweet.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather This Morning.
Well, good morning, and welcome into Mississippi Live Weather This Morning. I'm meteorologist Maggye McCauley. Thanks as always for tuning in and starting off your day with Mississippi Live Weather. Happy Thursday out there. Hope you started it on a great note. I started it on a great note because my baby slept through the night last night, and she hasn't the past 2 nights. So that's just a little tidbit for you for my life. I hope you've started off on a good note, slept good last night, and are up and ready to go this morning. Here's a live look over in Starkville. Beautiful conditions out there to start off your day over in Oktibbeha County. We are seeing a good mix of sun and clouds going on right now, but we're dry across the board, and we're dry again across Oktibbeha County out there this morning. Live look, if we show Starkville, we got to show Oxford too, right? So here's a look over in Oxford. This camera brought to us by the Phoenix Building Solutions and the North Mississippi Storm Chasers. They lend us their camera network, so we get to show you outdoor conditions. Again, over Lafayette County, we're dry across the board as well. Just seeing a lot of clouds to start off your day. Middle 60s over there in Oxford. So it's definitely warm over there. And the further you go off west, the warmer things do get. 64 again in Oxford, 66 Water Valley, same story in Senatobia, even 67, 68 from Tunica down into Clarksdale. So very warm closer to the Mississippi River. Further off to the east, we do get a little bit cooler, 61 in Tupelo, if you want to call 61 cooler anyway, 63 in Amory, 65 down in Columbus. So starting off in the 60s, anywhere between 2, even closer to 10 degrees warmer than we started off yesterday. So if you thought yesterday was a warm start, today going to be the same. We're looking at another warm day ahead. Your first 12 hours temperature is going to be staying in the 60s by your 8 o'clock hour. Going into your afternoon, temperatures back in the 70s before noon, upper 70s to near 80s, where all of us are going to be topping off today into your afternoon hours. So a lot like yesterday, another warm one out there. About a 10 to 20% chance for some isolated downpours as we head into your afternoon and evening hours. Again, these are very isolated. I think a lot of us could stay dry and will stay dry all day long, but there is a small chance again for an isolated downpour out there. All due to this system right here. I'm going to take this back and show you currently where it is before we get into where it's going to be. Here's a look at Mississippi Live satellite radar. Low pressure system off to our north, an extended cold front along with it causing rain from portions of Illinois, Kentucky, that stretches down into the Missouri Boot Hill into northeast Arkansas. So very close to our area, even though we're not seeing any rain. And that extends all the way into Oklahoma City as well. This front is going to continue to move off to the north. So watch as I put this into motion. Again, that continues to move off north, continues to keep rain out of our area. Now, we can't rule out yet again an isolated downpour or so into your afternoon and evening, but the majority of rain stays once again outside of our area out there for your Thursday. Let's talk about Friday and on, though, because the story does change Friday and especially into the start of your weekend. Going on to Friday morning, I think a lot of us going to be good to go. Dry morning commute out there for Friday. But the afternoon is when we're going to be watching more isolated downpours. I'm talking more isolated to scattered activity as we head through the back half of your Friday. So any plans out there for Friday afternoon and evening, make sure you have the rain gear. You might be running into one of those isolated downpours or two. More widespread rain. If you don't get in on it on Friday, you will be getting in on it on your Saturday. We're looking at a cold front coming in. Going to be bringing us more widespread rain, kind of knocking on our door as we head 9, 10 a.m. and then finally crossing over the Mississippi River before noon and then going into northeast Mississippi into your afternoon. One thing about this front is it's not going to be quick moving and it looks to almost stall in our area. So once the rain starts in North Mississippi, it's going to be lasting throughout a majority of your Saturday out there. So any Saturday plans, I encourage you, make sure you have some indoor accommodations if they are outside. Coming up next, we'll take it more hour by hour of when rain will be in and out of here for your specific area out there on your Saturday. Of course, we're going to be talking about Friday as well because we got our game of the week coming up. We got our baseball game of the week, and there's a lot of baseball games going on Friday other than the one that is our game of the week. So Friday, another day we're keeping a close eye on. We'll have the details on both those days coming up right after this.
The bravest thing that my dad has done has been going back to school.
It wasn't when he first enlisted, it was when he found his first support group.
The bravest thing she did is when she asked for help.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu.
We don't have time for delays.
Ready! We don't have time for spills.
Next.
We don't have time for setbacks. Let's be real.
Getting the flu shot
helps you fight the flu.
Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Maggye McCauley.
Hey, good morning. Happy Thursday out there to you, and welcome back to the Room to Room Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Maggye McCauley. The time now is 7:06 out here on your Thursday morning. I want to give you a live look on our Mama Justice Doppler radar before we move on to your overall forecast to show you just how close the rain is to North Mississippi. Now, we're dry across the board no matter where you are, from places like Clarksdale, Lafayette County, all the way over into Amory and Aberdeen. Good to go out there this morning, dry conditions. However, look at how close the rain is. If you head just across the Mississippi River over into places like north and eastern Arkansas, rain happening from Wynne up into Jonesboro and up also into the Missouri Boot Hills. So rain very close to us, but out of our hair, at least for now, out there this morning if you're getting out and about. Here's a live look of what is going on outside. Not rainfall, but clouds out there. Good mix of sun and clouds to start off your day. Here's a live look again in Tupelo. This camera sponsored by Mitchell Cunningham Bowling. Nice conditions out there overall to start your day. Mild as well. We're in the 60s, so as you're stepping out the door, don't expect to be too chilly out there. Here's looking Crenshaw. If you thought that was warm, 61 in Tupelo. They're almost 70 degrees over in northwest Mississippi in Crenshaw. So northwest Mississippi got in on a little bit more cloud cover earlier in the day or earlier in the night, I should say, than northeast Mississippi, allowing for temperatures to be a little bit warmer. Again, 68 in Crenshaw, lots of clouds out there. Your day planner ahead will be all in the upper 60s by 9, 70s by 10, middle 70s by your 11 o'clock hour. So temperatures rising over the next few hours, about a 10% chance as we head into your mid-morning and then also into your afternoon. What is going to be impacting the most people, though, is not going to be the rain possible for today, but the warm temperatures. We're talking about high temperatures today, near 80 across the board, 79 in Oxford, Senatobia, Holly Springs, Marshall County, but most of us, again, touching 80, 80 in Tupelo, 80 New Albany, 81 in Grenada, 83 in Eupora, 83 down in Macon as well. Our record high in Tupelo, 81, set back in 1939. We're forecasting a high just shy of that, but wouldn't be surprised if we uptick a degree and tie that record out there today. It's just going to be that warm. As for tomorrow, you can expect a day a lot like today. So for your Friday, temperatures pretty much where they were at today this afternoon for your Friday afternoon. Yet again, near 80 in Tupelo, 81 Houston, 81 Amory, 81 down in Starkville, even 84 in Grenada, Greenwood, down in Belzona, trying to stretch it to the middle 80s out there on your Friday. So overall, a very warm day out there today and also for tomorrow. Now, tomorrow is our high school game of the week, our first baseball high school game of the week. So we'll be out there at the baseball game over in Houston and New Albany at Houston, happening Friday at 6:30. First pitch, temperatures in the middle 70s. By the time that final out comes to play, we'll be in the low 70s. Honestly, pretty nice evening for baseball. The only thing I'm concerned with is the rain chances out there. You can see that 20% chance hanging out throughout that game. We'll see a 20% chance out there for your Friday, 70% out there for Saturday. everybody getting in on rain on Saturday. And then we'll see that kind of decrease until we head into the middle portion of your next work week. So Saturday, the first day, we're going to be keeping our eye on. After Saturday, we turn our attention to the middle of next week with another front coming in. Let me take you through the next few days, going through your work week first. Again, this afternoon, we're looking at a few showers possible, especially if you're closer to the Tennessee state line around noon. You'll be closer to that front, so maybe a spot shower or two. Maybe a heavy downpour this afternoon and evening. You can see, though, very isolated in nature. Not many folks getting under one of those, but it is possible into your evening hours. Going into your Friday, we will see a little bit better chances. Not for the front half of the day, though. Starting off your Friday, yet again on a dry note, but a cloudy note. Going noon and on, we will start to see those uptick of rain chances. So more scattered activity happening around 1 p.m. all the way into your evening hours around 6, 7, 8 p.m. Still seeing a few isolated heavy downpours out there. Again, those are the ones we're going to be keeping our eye on close to Houston, where our game of the week is going to be happening. So we're going to be keeping our eye on those on Friday, not looking at anything severe, but yeah, we could see some heavy downpours with some lightning associated with those as well. Saturday, our main day, we're keeping our eye on as of right now for maybe a few storms to try to be on the stronger side. Severe weather risk finally out for Saturday, level 1 out of 5, so lowest of the 5 threat levels, but it does include the entire Magnolia state along with it. We can see again a few storms try to be a little bit heavier at times. Not overly impressed with the system as it comes through. Here's a look at it. We'll see a cold front inch into our area as we head Saturday morning. So 8, 9, 10 a.m. starting to see a little bit more activity take place just across the Mississippi River. That'll cross into northwest Mississippi as we head into your mid-morning before noon, northeast Mississippi noon and on. So into the afternoon, impacting places like Tupelo down into Webster, Choctaw, Attala, Winston County, stretching that into your afternoon. One thing about this front is it almost looks to stall out once it enters the area. So once rain starts into your afternoon, looks to stick around even into your evening. So any plans on the back half of your Saturday, they're going to be rainy plans out there. Make sure you have the rain gear handy. We'll finally start to see this front try to make its way through the areas we had Sunday morning, but more rain chances are on tap for your Sunday as well, just not as widespread as Saturday. Here's looking at your 7-day forecast ahead. It's a warm one over your next few days. Again, our main day for rain right now over your next 7 days is Saturday. So we're going to be keeping our eye on that day, making sure we're bringing you the latest information. But again, not overly impressed with the severe weather setup for Saturday. As we look into next week, we do keep our rain chances Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, just with the active pattern kind of setting up in the area. But Wednesday, the next day, we're going to be keeping our eye on with more widespread rainfall. And again, a few chances for some strong to even severe storms going into your Wednesday. So going into the middle of your next work week, that's the day we're going to be keeping our eye on after Saturday. So that's a full look at your 7-day forecast. One thing you'll also notice is the warm conditions that stick around. I don't see our normal high anywhere on there other than within our lows. Our normal high, we should be in the 60s. We're in the 80s and 70s over your next 7 days. So warm conditions stick in the forecast over the next 7 days. I will say as we look 10 days out, you can find our 10-day forecast on our Mississippi Live weather app. We do see a little bit of a cool down as we head further on in the week due to that front on Wednesday. So a little bit of a cool down coming ahead, but for now we are definitely warm going over the next 7 days. Hey, make sure to tune in with us. We'll be live again this morning one more time coming up at 7:30. Make sure to tune in then. We'll have everything you need to know about your weekend forecast. We'll also have a look at conditions down in Jackson because we've still got high school basketball championships going on across the board. So we'll take a look at that forecast as well coming up at 7:30.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
Even though Gabe grew up in Alabama, Mississippi has now become his home and his family. And one thing about Gabe is he keeps his family safe.